am. Oh, hello, hello. Hi. Hey, everybody. We're just waiting on Miss Karen. I'm gonna just give me a second here as I try to figure this out. Oh, I think this is how I do it. There we go. Let's see, Karen. Hey, everybody. Oh. Is there going to be a season 3? We hope so. We're still waiting to find out. Thank you, guys. I'm good. I am waiting for Karen to join me. Let's see. Let's see if I can find her. Let's see. Oh, here we go. She's here. Let's see. There we go. And then, sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure this out. Here. Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hi!
Yes, I figured it out.
You did! Oh my gosh, we had a delivery. And Milo, because we have similar dogs, Milo just goes crazy. It's so funny. How can something so cute turn into this? He's got a thing for delivery people. And I just thought, oh no. Oh, no. He can't be barking throughout this podcast, this Instagram live.
Oh,
Otherwise,
is Milo around? Can we see Milo?
Milo,
No.
Paul's got him.
Maybe he'll make an appearance.
Where's Oso?
Also, so Karen and I have very similar dogs. See, okay, I'm gonna try something with this. If I turn it sideways,
Yeah.
does that make it weird? Or do you see me normal?
You're sideways now. Although I have to say, you do look beautiful sideways as well.
I have a tripod set up so my hands aren't so shaky. My God.
Do you have a tripod?
I do have a tripod, but it doesn't go the long ways of the phone. Only
You know
sideways.
what it is? I had such a brain fart, and Carl, because it's this way usually the stand. So
Right.
Right? But he said, Karen, just switch it sideways. I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? And then you do the screw things on the side.
I guess I'm gonna have to do that next time.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing? How are you holding up over there?
I'm good, love. It's we talked about this before. I'm so grateful that we have a roof over our head, and it's just weird because the days kind of blur into the nights blur into days. It has been glorious. Usually I take the pains of like blow drying my hair and everything, but now I just let it dry wild. It's kind of nice.
Since you're a wild woman.
But I want your hair. It's like having that big volume and everything, but it's been nice to just be natural. And she says, as I'm trying to cover up a bad hair day, but anyway.
I like it. I know today's, I think, probably the first day since last week I put on some makeup on my face to not scare the viewers.
I don't think that's possible.
Well, just
but
a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how good it feels to get ready. Because like we just kind of like lounge in the house, and it's like, oh, it's just so nice. Like put some makeup on, put on a nice shirt, feel a semblance of normal life.
Yes, and they say, I've been reading different blogs from different therapists, and they offer some really good advice, and they do say that if routine is important for everyone. So go get up, do your regular thing, get up in the morning, go take a shower. If you meditate or whatever it is that you do, there's no reason why that should change. Although granted, a lot of people who have children, that's tough because they're homeschooling right now. So
yeah,
it's a lot of
I have to give props to all the parents that are watching right now that have kids at home. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
You just kind of got to make do with the best you can. That's all you can ask of yourself.
It's all we can do. You gotta take it day by day. This is the true lesson of taking it day by day. Like we
Yeah.
cannot plan, you know, life is uncertain,
Yeah.
but we can only take control of the things that we can, you know,
Yeah.
which is like a routine or, you know, connecting. I think connecting in a different way with friends and family and our loved ones.
Yeah. You know what? It was yesterday. So Carl did a big grocery shop because we try to do it once every 2-3 weeks. And especially because we're seeing in the news that they're telling us, even if you don't need to go out to the grocery store, don't, like, just stay home if you can. So we thought, well, we better go out early yesterday morning. So he went. He brought back all the bags. I never thought I'd say this, but disinfecting groceries and supplies, I was exhausted. That took a whole hour, hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have to disinfect everything. Like, I found myself second guessing, have I disinfected these berries properly? You just second guess yourself. Then I have to disinfect the counters and the mud room because he doesn't enter through the main entrance. He enters through the side entrance, to where I tell him, I'll take everything, disrobe right now because all this is going straight into the laundry. Right. It's just little things like that you've got to think about. And then I end up having to disinfect the floors and the front. And that's when it really sank in just how serious this virus is. Because we have to pay attention to all these details. I needed a nap afterwards.
No, it's intense. Like, I already hated putting the groceries away. Look, I'm grateful I can buy groceries. I always have to like put that. But you know, when we get accustomed to something, we start taking it for granted. And having to disinfect everything, I was just like, wow, it was really simple before. You just take the groceries and put them in the fridge. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting time, and to be as mindful as possible.
Yeah,
with everything.
And it's important that everyone knows too that there is no right or wrong. It's a judgment-free zone. So how you choose to spend your time, you just have to do what feeds your heart, your soul, what, gets those happy endorphins going, because this is such an unprecedented time that we're all going through. So it's so important that we really do things to feed our psyche and our frame of mind.
Yeah, it's true. I just started doing heart math meditations.
Oh, what's that?
So heart math, it's a nonprofit, but it's also, they have like a heartmath.com. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just in love with the whole technique because it's so simple. It's just basically techniques to have heart coherence. So you're back in like your flow and your intuition, and it helps you go from states of like fear, panic, worry into more calm, grounded, like loving states. And so I just got like this little app thing where you click it to your ear and it measures your heart rate to make sure you're in coherence. And
is that like the meditation bands that I'm seeing? Because my sister was telling me about one. I don't have my laptop here. And I was thinking, maybe for my birthday, Carl could get that for me.
There you go. Is your birthday coming up?
Wow. Might be. It's not big.
You're just like, that's what he's going to get me.
It's on tax day.
It is soon. Oh my God. Well, happy early birthday. Early birthday.
Thank you, lovely.
A unique birthday year, I'm sure.
But I keep telling everyone who's had quarantine birthdays that this is our chance to be really creative and to do something within the comforts of our own home and make sure that we celebrate. I remember before, I think when you hit 30, and this is for me personally, I was just always like, oh, another year. And then it keeps going, and it was always about the age. Then I realized that, wait a second, it is so important, and it's become even more prevalent in my mind with everything happening now, that a birthday means so much more than just a birthday. It is a celebration. It is an opportunity to thank our bodies, our mind, the miracle of our brains and our minds, and how it stays healthy for another year, so that we can go and do the things that we do, because health is wealth, and without it, you can't do anything.
True.
And so now I'm like, no, we're going to celebrate this heart beating for another year. We're going to celebrate this brain for operating and making everything in my body function healthily. You know, that's something to celebrate. And it's so important to remember that, because it's so easy for us to forget, to take things for granted, that we can breathe without a ventilator. You know what I mean? It's little things like that. And I feel like everything that's happening right now has just highlighted that. So I'm going to celebrate big, love.
Yes, honey.
From home.
Throw confetti in the house. I'm gonna see if I can. Let's see if I can get a little tripod action going here.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I'll give out some shout outs whilst you're setting up.
Let's see if this is better.
There's David Ryan one.
Okay, maybe that's
Ma.nreal. Hello. Got some Once Upon a Time fans. So I met lovely Alyssa on The Rookie. I mean, what's not to love about Alyssa? See, now I can talk all about her. She's setting up. She's so lovely. And we were like kindred spirits. We're like the same person in so many ways.
Well, this is what, and when Karen and I discovered that, she's like, Alyssa, we're like the same person. I'm not going to do the British accent because I don't want to embarrass myself.
No,
we're like the same person.
Free zone.
And then she took a beat and she goes, how wonderful. And I'm like, yes. So she is definitely, we're soul twins.
I think because we found so much in common, because we practice yoga, and we do mindful exercises, and amongst many other things, we have our love for writing, besides acting. And one thing I love about Alyssa is that she's so inspiring. She has this infectious, inspiring, good energy, that the minute that you just come into, like, even 1 feet away from her, or even inches away from her, you just feel this wonderful energy and effervescence that she has. She can just light up a room. So lucky me, and that's something I'm so grateful for with our jobs, is that you get to meet some fantastic and amazing human beings out there, and Alyssa is certainly one of them. And we have our big episode this Sunday.
Yes, we're not so lovely to one another as we are in life.
And that was really hard. I found that so hard to be. It's like, how can I be horrible to this?
Well, I felt the same with Karen. Your energy is so lovely, and she's so giving on set. And you know, as an adult, it's very, like, it's kind of hard. I mean, for me, anyways, as an adult, being like, will you be my friend? Like, literally, I had to do that with Karen. I'm like, I want to be friends with you. And some people, you have to just grab them, you know, by the shoulder. You're like, we're gonna be friends. And Karen was one of those people, and we had so much in common. You know, Karen's husband also is a talented music producer. My fiance is in music. We just clicked, and we happen to be like very close neighbors. Yeah. And have the same looking dog almost. I know. So
it was like everything was aligning. I was like, what is happening? It's like everything. So I know, Alyssa, you have just made this quarantine time at home just so much more brighter and everything. And it's good for all of us to embrace our friends, our families. You know, this is a time where we really can rely on each other and boost the morale up. And I know, having someone like you who shares that same hunger for wanting to grow and thrive and learn, it's ignited so much in me. And I don't know about you, but I find we're almost coming up to a month in quarantine.
Yeah.
It is gone like that.
Yeah, it's gone by pretty fast. I feel like now I'm starting to get a little restless. It's starting to hit me.
I have those moments too. What do you do when those moments hit you?
Well, like I was saying before, I feel like I'm an affiliate or a sponsor. I should be, but I'm not. Guys, I am not. But I do really respect what it is. The heart math, the heart breathing. It's been helping me so much because it's so simple. You do it like 3 to 4 minutes, or you can do it when you start feeling panicked and stressed, and it just helps me get present and grounded and aligned. And then my fiance and I on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, we do the little meditations and sound baths. So it's been interesting for me because like with Karen, I've been into all these modalities of self-healing for like over a decade, and looking at other ways to ground myself, to work through doubt, to work through fear, to work through uncertainty, which is the life of an actor, you know, and feeling good in my skin and who I am. And so just immersing myself in learning these things, and then being able to come to a point where I want to share it with other people. Because I just feel like now everyone's dealing with that on such high levels.
Oh yeah. It's that emotional intelligence, that emotional stamina. I'm really grateful that the past, you know, God, I think it's been about 6-7 years, when I started meditation, when I started tapping, and just creating some sort of a routine within a chaotic schedule. Like my trainer before in the past, he had always said that when we're filming, it's very difficult to find routine because it constantly changes with our filming schedules. So he said, even if you can find a cup of coffee workout where you're doing 10 minutes of exercise, 10 minutes in the morning or on a lunch break or even in the evening. And I know because when we're at home, it's very easy to become extremely lazy. But if you can even grab onto 10-15 minutes, cup of coffee workouts, and it's the quality, not the quantity. It's the quality of the moves that you're doing. If you're going to do 5 push-ups, you do 5 perfect, well executed push-ups, because that can go a long way too. And as soon as that, so I felt like I had allowance then. I gave myself permission to say, okay, our sleep schedules are so different. We don't know, we can't go to sleep at the same time every day because it rolls over each day with filming sometimes. So it's just trying to latch onto those cup of coffee moments where we can have some routine, I think is so important. And that's certainly helped with my emotional stamina to be able to cope with everything that's happening.
Can you talk more about the tapping? Because let's see, what is some people want to know more about the tapping. When I told tapping to my fiance, he was like, tap dancing? Let's see.
Oh, Beck's team, 5 push-ups. I'm really happy if I can do 1. Then do 1 good one.
Yeah. What is it? How you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah.
And it really is about the quality.
Yeah. So with tapping, it's scientifically proven that even when you physically tap your fingers on your pressure points,
I'm going to do it with
these are all our pressure points where we carry tension. So you guys can try this if you're there. Make sure your hands are clean. If you're at home, you're all good. So you're just tapping. We carry tension. If you're feeling a little sore, you're carrying tension there. Up here. On the chin. On your chest. I tend to give it a little tap there, extra tap. Carry a lot of pressure here.
That's a really sensitive area. So this was, I remember the reason why we got into tapping, I'm sorry to interrupt you really quick, is in a scene with Karen, I push her right in her chest with my hand. And I know from like doing a lot of like different voice work training that this is a really sensitive area for people. And I apologized profusely to her, and she's like, no, honey, I do tapping. We got into this tapping conversation. Sorry to interrupt. It was a tangent.
No, that's what it was. I love that. And then underneath here, to your sides. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Okay. We carry a lot of tension there too.
Our armpits?
Tap there for a bit. Give it a good tap.
Oh, it's like more the rib area, right?
Yeah, right over there, just under the armpit. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
And then tap here on your head, lightly, all over, because we carry tension on our head too. And if you want to take deep breaths in between, it's really, really good. So now, that's the physical part of tapping. And you can do it for like, if you have a moment where you're feeling stressed or you're feeling anxious, this is the best thing you can do. 2 feet firmly planted on the ground. Take deep breaths, 2 deep breaths. Out. And then you begin your tapping. So just doing that physically for about, you can do it for 2 minutes, you can do it for 5 minutes, as long as you need for your for those feelings of anxiety or worry to dissipate. It really does calm you down. It's kind of the equivalent to what a power nap is. You have a good power nap, it's hitting the reset button, and it's so important to do that. You're releasing tension that we carry. So that's one thing. Another thing, if you want to take it to another level, and that's part of meditation as well, is you can then start saying mantras. And it can be anything you want. There are a bunch of practitioners on YouTube that are free that I absolutely love. Brad Yates is one of my favorites. And I get it. Look, if it's not for you, it's absolutely fine. But if you want to try it, what I like about Brad, and especially with Carl, because some of them can be a bit too flowery for him, but Brad is just very calm and just very real. Not to say that the others aren't, but he's just very calm and real, and matter of fact, which I really like. I mean, there's several other EFT practitioners that practice tapping. With
And
mantra.
EFT stands for?
Now I've got, you know what? I knew that.
It's emotional, isn't it? Emotional
Emotional.
freedom?
Yes.
Freedom technique?
Yes. Thank you.
I was trying to be like Oprah. That's all.
I know.
That was my little Oprah moment. Karen. It's the EFT.
So if you do it with intention, that can be really good. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first did it, I thought, oh, this is so silly. And I was giggling. But then it's like, you know, when they give you exercises to, when you're at the mirror, look yourself in the mirror, and they tell you, I am strong, I am powerful. And even though you may not believe it, the more you say it, the more you're going to actually
yeah, why not? You know,
yeah.
That's my philosophy. It's like, say those things to yourself, because we say mean things to I mean, I do. I'm just going to speak from my experience. Like when I'm in a bad mood, or I'll be like very hard on myself and not say the nicest things to myself.
Yeah.
So if it's like, well, I might as well say something nice. It doesn't cost me anything. And if I feel better at the end of the day.
I think it's because, like, look, it's very easy for us to be our own worst enemy, but we are our own best friends. And it's so important to nurture ourselves. So, you know, doing the tapping for me is something, because not only physically are you releasing tension by tapping on your trigger points, but by mantra if you want. I find it useful for myself because it's acknowledging feelings. So if we try now, we just tap on the forehead and we say, okay, what is this that I'm feeling? In this moment of uncertainty, I find myself having feelings of worry, anxiety, not knowing how long I'm going to be in my house, whether I will see my friends or my family again. And then you can move to another trigger point here. But I honor all my feelings, and I bless myself with kindness, with love, with forgiveness. And then we switch to the cheek. And know that I'm okay, and that everything will be okay. And then we switch again. And sometimes it's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel worried. It's okay to feel anxious. Go to the chin. I acknowledge those feelings. I honor those feelings. And go to the chest. And I release. I release all those feelings that hold me back, that don't serve me. I am strong. I am powerful. I will get through this. And I am of positive mind, spirit, body, and soul. So you can say whatever it is. You can follow examples of mantras, but after you finish tapping, sorry, I forgot, you take a deep breath. And even just doing that, how do you feel? Do you feel lighter? I feel lighter already just doing that.
Yeah.
And just acknowledging what you're feeling. Just acknowledge all those feelings that you hold. Speak them out. It's like you're vomiting your thoughts from your subconscious. Get it out. This is what I'm feeling. This is what makes me nervous. This is what's... Acknowledge those feelings because you are honoring those feelings. Often, a lot of us tend to want to run away from those feelings. We're scared of admitting that we're feeling that way. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge them. Look them right in the eye as you're tapping.
Mm-hmm.
And then release them. Release them. Because the minute that you've acknowledged it and you've released it, all of a sudden, I feel so much lighter. I feel like I've just breathed it out. I've just tapped it all out. And you can do that for 2 minutes. You can do that for 10 minutes. You can do that for 15 minutes. Honestly, guys, it has been life-changing for me, especially for the industry that we're in. We're used to being in and out of work, not knowing if we're going to be able to pay the bills or like what's happening. So but at the same time, we always have to remember why we do what we do. And I think that goes for anything and anyone. Whatever you do, as long as you love what you do, it will never feel like a day of work. And those times where there's struggle and hardship, you're able to overcome it because you remember why you started. You remember why you love this so much. So doing anything you can to cheer yourself on, you've got to be your own best cheerleader. I find that just helps so much. And meditation, yoga, Pilates, the tapping, all of it. When I was 20, 21, I just didn't appreciate. I wasn't ready. You know, I was like, I don't understand this. I remember reading Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now when I was like 23, and I just did not understand it. And I thought, and it actually made me really mad. I don't understand what it means to be present. How can you be present?
Right.
Oh boy, have I learned what it means to be present. It's like the sooner you can embrace that, you're just way ahead of the game. You're setting yourself up so much emotionally, spiritually, for your future. You know, and look, spirituality is interpreted in so many ways, you know? So it's just whatever brings emotional stamina and emotional strength. Going to the gym is very good for us physically, but it's important that we do things to help our subconscious, our mind, our mental well-being. You know, mental health is a big issue now. And we need to talk about that and have more open conversations about helping one another. And it affects everyone to a certain degree. So it's really important to do things that will help. And for us, this is why Alyssa and I bonded so much was through our love for yoga and tapping and all that. So
yeah. Oh, thank you for doing that. I love that we
did it work? Do you feel better?
It did. I felt better, and you have such a lovely voice that guides me through. It's I'm like, ugh. So it's great. I have done a couple of tapping classes before, and like really in-depth ones. And I remember it was one for self-love, and there's like tissues and a mirror. And like I don't need tissues. I'm good. I work on myself. And she had us do the tapping while looking in the mirror, saying these, affirmations to ourselves, and I was just bawling.
Yeah.
And I think we all our body holds on to memories and stress and and I feel from my experience, our thoughts can limit us, and how we think about ourselves can limit us. And it's also a reflection of how we start to think about others. So these things like tapping or meditation, yoga, it's just all about expansion. I was reading in a book the other day, it's like you're always more than you think you are. You're more than you possibly can think you are. You know, and when I do get a little stir crazy, I just start like looking at simple things. I'm like, oh my God, just the beauty of like the architecture of my hand, you know, like the intricacy of what it is to be alive and human and in nature, and just
And that's gratitude. That's your
yeah.
gratitude is miraculous. Because the minute that we start to remember the things that we're grateful for, then all of a sudden the fear, the anxiety, that all dissipates because you're remembering and holding on to things that you're grateful for.
You were telling me a sweet my little thing, a really lovely story about a gratitude jar, and I would love for you to tell us about that.
I've got it right here. So, my husband's manager gave us this mason jar, and I'll just open it. So she's cut different color paper, bless her, Meta. Okay, and the blank, and throughout the year, and you guys can do this right at home. It's such a lovely thing to do. And you write things that you're grateful for. So I write, for example, this is serendipitous. Out of all the ones I picked out.
And first of all, the fact that you said serendipitous, when I did a yoga class today, they pulled like a card, a word, or whatever, the intention, and it was serendipity.
What?
Yeah.
So out of my ones that I have written, you know what I pulled out? So grateful to recur on the rookie.
Wow. Wow.
Crazy. Yay. I put, isn't that crazy? It's like,
that's how it goes.
Yeah. See, and that's another thing they talk about when you're meditating, when you're tapping, you become so aligned with your intentions and with your emotions, with universe. And it's like they listen. And look, I picked out the one about the rookie. That's so funny.
Love it.
I love that. So you write in your jar, and you could do it during this quarantine. That would be good. This time that you're staying at home, every day, cut some pieces of paper out, put it in a jar, and then fold it up. Write one thing each day that we're staying at home that you're grateful for, and put it in this jar. And at the end of our quarantine, because this too will pass, you start reading them. And even if you need to go back and read them, you know, you don't have to wait to the end of the quarantine. If you want, you can go back and read them whenever you need to. It'll just put a smile on your face because it'll remind you of all the things that you're grateful for. So that's my gratitude jar.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we can do a quarantine gratitude jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we really are so lucky. When I start getting stir crazy, I just think about all the nurses and the doctors and our police officers and our cashiers, the grocery stores, and I'm just like, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. I have nothing to get stir crazy about. I get to stay home and I get to be safe. And a lot of our loved ones or our friends are out there, and they're keeping it going.
Yeah, it's like the healthcare workers, the grocery store people working at the grocery store, the cleaners, the delivery people, like they are all out there trying to keep everything going, this cycle of survival. And that's when I remember, to be grateful.
Oh, we have a doctor that's currently staying at home sick, and it's driving him nuts.
Oh, that's Charlotte. I could see she said yes, it's driving her nuts. It's tough to be. And look, this doesn't.
The Postal Service, that's another one.
The Postal Service, yes, thank you. But it also, and look, it's mixed emotions right now because I do feel guilty because there are moments when I'm like, oh, but that's what I'm saying. It's important to acknowledge those feelings too.
Yes, you have to feel them.
Yeah.
To let it flow, and then you can reset, and that's the power we have. We have the ability to choose our thoughts. We have the ability. the only thing that we have control over, and I remember reading this in a book when I was 19, I think it was The Success Principles by Jack Canfield, is
Yeah.
the only thing that we have control over is our reactions.
Yeah. It's true. That's what I always say. Yeah. Jack Canfield, he did Chicken Soup for the Soul too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're so good, those books. You remember when they came out? I would just be bawling. It was like an episode of This Is Us. It's like every story I'd be bawling my eyes out. Such good stories. He's great. But that is so true. We are in control. And that is the one thing that we have the power, is to choose how we react to things.
Yeah, and this time also too, you know, I read that someone's caring for their, you know, elderly father. I feel even more connected with my family, even if it's at a distance sometimes or a phone call, but just more like any resentments I had or anger with anybody just completely melted. And I'm just like, it's about the heart. It's about connecting. It's about knowing that each day is not guaranteed. And so when it comes from that place, I appreciate it much more.
Yeah.
And I stopped taking it for granted and really connecting and just enjoying the moments that I do have, you know?
This is an opportunity for us to come together, to help one another. This is the opportunity for us to be our best versions of ourselves, and for humanity to shine. You know, and there's two ways of looking at it. There's the bright side and the dark side of it too. But where there's sorrow, there is joy and there is hope. So thank God for that. And it just warms my heart. You know, I know on your social media pages too, and mine too, to hear everyone's story of what they're up to, of finding ways, just the sense of community and camaraderie is just so heartwarming. And that's what keeps the soul alive, you know?
Yeah, because we really are connected. This is showing us more than ever. You know, it's something I would hear for years. We're collective consciousness. We're all connected. You know, we're interconnected. Treat someone like you would want to be treated. All these principles. But it's true. I mean, we are all affected by this, the whole world.
Yeah.
And if this isn't a slap in the face that like, hey, I'm connected to you just as I'm connected to all you guys watching. We're all hearts beating and our actions have a butterfly effect.
Yeah. I wrote, you know, you're gonna laugh. So when I was because I was recording artist as well, I wrote a song. This is like 5 years ago. That's how long it's been since I've released an EP. It's been way too long. But I wrote a song called Connected. And little did we know at that time, I wrote it with Boots Artistad, and we wrote the song about these very words, about how just when you least expect it, it's like a domino effect. And how we're so, one person's actions have a domino effect on the rest of us. Mm-hmm. And that we're so much closer than we think. I mean, it's a big world, yes, but look how this virus has just brought this world to its knees and made the world so much smaller, because it's just gone full circle. I think any way that we can express ourselves now, be it like I see people doing beautiful art, writing music, doing sound baths and all that, it's so wonderful. I think it's so important to find an outlet where you can express yourself, to, again, another way to release everything.
Yeah.
You know, you've been writing.
I've been writing. I've been painting. I've been doing these.
You paint as well?
I do paint.
Is there anything you can't do?
Well,
I can't paint to save my life.
I can't sing like you. You have an amazing singing voice. I sound like, what is the character from Mary Poppins, but the chimney sweeper guy? But stuck in the chimney cleaning. That's my character of singing.
Are you sure? But he's very charming and lovely.
Exactly.
Like you.
It's all about the feeling.
Yeah. So we should talk about our episode a little bit. We should. Sunday. It's a big episode for you.
So this Sunday, Karen and I are playing rivals. Karen gives me Calderon, your character. Let's say your character name.
Yeah. Rita Calderon.
Rita Calderon.
How do you say this? Calderon. Calderon. I don't know.
I know. I feel like it was a mixed bag of how we pronounced. It's anyway, whatever mood you're in.
I like
Depends
Calderon.
On what side of the bed you wake up.
Yeah.
But so
yeah, we're button heads, aren't we?
Yeah. So Lopez is wanting to make detective. She's wanting to work her way up, and you kind of step on my toes a little bit.
Well, just remember, the ones that give you the hardest times are the ones that take you seriously sometimes. That's one thing I learned. And look, you have to know the difference between those who are being negative outright. But then it's so important. That's one thing that I learned from my parents, was to learn what constructive criticism was,
right,
and criticism, and to know how to interpret differently. But in this case, I'm sure there were moments where they were butting heads. But then you'll find out. We can't give away too much, but yeah. But I'm very proud.
Yes, and that was
very proud of you.
I'm very proud of you, and I'm also very grateful. I'm just trying to get the light right here. I'm very grateful because we got to really connect, and that was a gift in itself.
I know. I was so happy to come back, and you guys were so great, because I remember it all happened so quickly. So there was do you remember? I must have had tons of bloopers.
We all do. We all have bloopers.
But aren't the blooper reels great? You guys must have such fun ones.
Yeah, it's a fun job. I mean, it's humbling too, to do this, and I'm just like in awe of what the LAPD, drop the letter, LAPD do. So
what is it that you love the most about your character and playing your character?
I think what I love most about her is the fact that she, as much as sometimes she can come off very blunt or like very like, she cares so deeply. She truly cares underneath, that part of herself. Like there's a toughness to her, a tomboyishness to her, but like she really cares and she really loves. And I usually find that with the people that seem like they have like tough exteriors are usually the biggest softies.
Yeah, they have the softest.
They're like, yeah. So that's, I think, what I enjoy with Lopez, and playing a female officer. It's it was a very male dominated, field, and there's a lot more women involved now, and also, the complexities of, being an officer, being a mother, being a wife, is also fascinating to me as well. So, and just like, there's fathers that, I'm not taking away from, our the men that are officers, their fathers, their husbands, but it's just so interesting to explore that for me. Yeah.
It's because looking back on your body of work, my gosh, you've done like Ray Donovan, you've done Narcos. So just so you guys know, FYI, hubby was like completely fangirling over Alyssa because he's watched Narcos, he's watched Ray Donovan, and then he said, "Oh, that's your new BFF? Can she be my new BFF?"
And he is, so now. He is. I love Carl. He's such a great man.
Brownie point. But you've played such a range of different characters, like from Ray Donovan and Narcos, and now to The Rookie. Do you get asked a lot when they say which is your favorite role you've played? Because I do, and I find it really difficult to choose.
Yeah, because you're in the same boat, Karen. I mean, Gavilan, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Gavilan, yeah.
When you showed me some of the footage from it, I was like, "Who's that girl?" I had no idea it was you. As you're sitting next to me, showing me. Karen has an amazing singing voice. Oh my God, just out of this world. And you are such a chameleon. And then Fear of the Walking Dead.
It's so different from going from a fairy tale medieval comedy, than going into literally the apocalypse. And I never thought that art would be mimicking life now at the moment. But it's made me realize that I actually prefer zombies now, because zombies you can see. You can see them, whereas this virus, you can't see it. You know? But yeah, I can't choose between which. They're like your babies, right? Do you find
they
that?
are, because they all, I think my phone battery is low. But yeah, we'll wrap it up soon.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's the same. It's all different facets. You know, I think of humanity as a diamond,
Yeah.
and there's all these different facets to it, but it's all part of the whole. And so what each playing a different character is just one aspect of the facet of the diamond, and I get to like really dive in and blow it up and like swim in it, dance in it, breathe it, live it, and then you know, let it go, and then go on to explore different things. So just having the ability to have empathy and put myself in someone else's shoes, it's such a blessing that I get to do that for a living. You know, it really expands my perspective. And so that's how I feel about it. They all teach me something different about myself and about people.
I love that facet analogy. I think that's the bittersweetness of our job as well. With you live it, you breathe it, and it's your world, your life, and then it comes to its finality, its end, and then you have to move on. And if you're lucky to move on to a new chapter with a new family, it's always, you know, it's because, especially because I feel like as creative people, we are very open emotionally too. We're very sensitive to emotions. I mean, that's what part of being an actor is. It's about being empathetic. But I feel like it's really tough, you know, when you finish one chapter, and because those friends that you make, like from some of the shows, like I have lifelong friends now, but then there's so much joy that when you start something new, like I remember I don't know about you, but like when I always start a new show, if it's be it series regular, I'm guessing, or recurring or whatever, I always get those first day of school nerves, because I'm always like, oh, I hope they're all gonna like me, and you know, because you're like the new kid coming on. But you guys at the Rookie, it's just this wonderful family over there, and everyone's so lovely and so flipping funny. I just had such a wonderful time with you guys. You guys are so great.
Oh, well, you're amazing too. We love you.
Yeah, well, I love you guys too. And look, this is what came out of it. We should have more character butting heads more often, because if it brings amazing friends like you, that's amazing.
Oh, I love you, Karen. I learned so much from you, and you're such a bright light, you know, and you carry that with you everywhere you go. So
you do that for me too. And that's, you know, and I feel very blessed, like you too, love, that this is an opportunity for us to put social media to good use.
Yeah.
You know, where we can talk openly like this, and it's good to communicate and talk, and, you know, get everyone talking, because that's, especially at a time right now with what we're all going through, you know, we live in such a comparative culture, and you and I have talked about this, and that's where social media, it can be really challenging, because it's so easy to compare. But like you, I love that you guys are doing sound baths. It's so important to be able to share and spread a sense of community within social media. That's the miraculous things about social media that I can do, is to have this instant connection where we can spread joy, spread inspiration and all that. So you do that for me. I know you do that for all your followers over here. And thanks, guys, for coming in and saying hi.
Titus is on here.
Hey, who's here?
Titus.
Is Titus on here?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm worried my phone's gonna cut
sending
off.
you a
Sorry.
Okay. We gotta do one with Titus next time too.
We'll do one with Titus.
Can we do that?
We'll do one with Titus.
Maybe we'll do it this week. We'll do the one this week. I'll host if you want.
Yes.
We
can do.
Yeah.
I'm in, girl.
Okay. You heard it here first, guys. Because our episode, Alyssa, please tell them your big episode this Sunday.
this Sunday, rookie baby. We got the beautiful Karen on.
ABC, and what time?
Sunday at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I watch at 10 p.m.
And 9 p.m. That would be 9 p.m. Central, right?
9 p.m. Central.
Okay. All right.
I love you, Karen. Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.